everyone, this is Michelle, and I am here for a hop called Little Scraps Big Impact, I think. This is a hop organized and hosted by Ginger from Ginger's Corner, and this month we are making Easter eggs for next month. So Ginger had asked us to make like mixed media tie-dyed eggs. So I have a Easter egg die from Keep It Simple. I'll list it down below. And I have this stamp set from Keep It Simple that I used last year. I want to show you how I used it last year. And I have a big kind of mess here going on, so I apologize. But I've just been playing around. So I want to kind of show you what all I've done. Well, first, let me back up and show you how I used this stamp set last year. So here's a layout where I used it here and here. And actually all the stamps, I did the same thing where you take your Close to My Heart stamp set, squeeze it where you get a little bit of ink in this side of it, and then I take a water brush like this and you pick up the ink and then you paint, you use it to color. So I did that here with these stamp sets and I think it turned out cute. Gives it a really soft look, and it's just a different way of coloring, right? So that's one thing you can do if you want to call that mixed media. I would think it's there. I mean, you're using a watercolor, a water brush, and you're using ink. I'd call that mixed media. But today I kind of experimented around with a couple other ways. So first I have these eggs and I cut them out like say this. So what I did is I took my acrylic block and I took these 3 inks and I just kind of ran them against it, right? And then, so 3 different colors. So here I had the pink, the lighter pink, kind of turned an orangey color, and then the yellow. And then I spritzed it, and then I stamped it down onto the paper. And then I still had some ink left, so I spritzed it again. I not spritzed it again, I just laid it down on the paper next to this. So I ended up with 2 blocks of color. One had more color and one had less. Then I let it dry, and that's why I'm not going to do it today in this video because for the sake of time, I don't want to I don't want to wait for it to dry. And my heat gun bit the dust. My husband borrowed it too many times for around the house stuff. So I think this turned out really well. Now I want to tell you where I messed up at first. I don't think you can tell here, maybe a little bit. There's a little bit of yellow right here. So I thought at first I could take my alcohol markers and color on here. I did yellow, pink, and pink. And then I put it down on the paper and nothing came off because it had actually stained my acrylic block. Really, you only see the yellow. So it got a little streak of yellow right there. I used my stamp cleaner because water wasn't getting it off, and the stamp cleaner did not either. So don't do that. I think you can use Stampin' Up markers to do that with the acrylic block, but don't do it with, what are they called? Hold on. With the tri-blend markers. Don't do it with the tri-blend markers. Okay, So here, I just cut this out with the egg dye, right? And then this one, I decided why not jazz it up a little bit. I went through my stencils. I found this one. I think it's from Close My Heart. They were combining a lot of different shapes. So all I did was I just put it down and then I masked off with some washi tape above and below the line. And then I just used a blending brush and I got the little designs. I thought that was cute. Okay, so then, and I also have some other stencils I could use. I'm not sure if y'all can see that, but that one has like a little polka dot. Okay. Then here, this is where I took Lagoon, Blossom, Sweet Leaf, and Lemon. Just some Easter looking colors. And these are dye-based inks. Water-based dye ink from Close My Heart. So I would, let's see, this one you can see the lines. So what I did is I put the ink on the block, then I sprayed it, and then I put the block on this paper. And it comes out okay, right? And then to top it off, I used some Memento Tuxedo Black, and I stamped one of the eggs on top. So I think that turned out super cute. And I could probably get another one, or I could add some more pink over here. Pink or yellow, because there's a lot of green and turquoise over here, right? So yeah, definitely I could do that. So just run this through your die cutting machine, or just hand cut it out and get some really cool looking eggs. So now this one, I did a little bit differently. I would take my ink and I would put it down on my glass mat, right? And let me get another piece of paper. Okay. Down the glass mat, and then, oh no, it wasn't on the glass mat. I told you wrong. I told you wrong. So I think what I should have done, let's do this. What I was going to tell you is I actually put some ink on some packaging and made the smushing technique. But let's smush it this way. That's really pretty. Let's get some more picked up. I don't have all the colors of the Distress Oxides. And there we go. And then let me just get a wet wipe. Clean that up. All right. Let's do some Blossom. A little bit of water. And let's see. I actually don't have any water in this water pen. Let's try this one. This one has some water. Okay, just don't want to have the lines. Okay. Here we go. That's really pretty. And that's kind of lighter, so you know I could go back in and do more. Okay, let's see. Green. Let's do some Sweet Leaf. So it's actually kind of fun. Oop. Some colors you might want to wait in between to get, you know, so they don't muddle. Okay. And then let's do some yellow. Some kind of lavender would be pretty too, wouldn't it? Okay. Really, there's no way to do this wrong, right? I mean, it's just a fun technique. I'm using regular cardstock. You could use watercolor cardstock. So then that just needs to dry. And I didn't feel like there was enough to put on this one. This one is just started, right? So this one, it's going to make a lot of really cool, interesting eggs. And like I said, you can stamp on top, like with one of these eggs. You could stamp on top with, say, like one of these background stamps. The swirl would be beautiful on an egg. And or you can use the stencils, lots of stencils that you could use to make your own eggs. So let me know if you've tried this or if you'd like to try it and what you think about it. So thank you for stopping by, and have fun creating your own Easter egg embellishments. Bye-bye.